So if anything's your guilty pleasure, because I'll be honest with you, Marcus, like I was listening to anything yesterday and I was still like, I kind of fuck with anything, even though
That song's still hard, yo.
anything you
Anything
want,
you
girl.
want, girl.
And it's got the Pharrell, the doom, 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 doom. Thank you, what, girl. And Usher's going for it, man.
You know,
Um,
when Jay-Z had some concert that he recorded and Pharrell sung the hook and the crowd had no response, and I was so saddened by that.
oh
I was
man,
so saddened. Like
that hurts.
if I was in the crowd, I would have went ape shit ho. So,
Oh man.
but
Now you love anything. And I didn't mean to cut you off, but Hollywood was the best Jay Z Beyonce record up until part two until part two came out. Honestly,
that's killing. That song's kind of gross. Actually, you know what? I'm being a bit facetious. I think in the moment we talked about Throne contextually, so we should give some context to Kingdom Come.
we should.
When Kingdom Come came out, I
2006.
remember I remember being very excited for the album. I remember having my dad take me to some music store actually buy a physical copy, even though I was well into bootlegging music by then.
Right.
I still remember the red cover that you took off, and it was underneath it revealed lyrics to some of the songs and a
Yep.
different Jay-Z picture on the album cover.
Very cool packaging.
Yeah, the packaging was A plus. I have no clue where that album is now. It's somewhere,
I got mine
somewhere
from
in
the Den.
storage.
I got
Oh,
this from the Den, and I got graduation from the Den.
shout out to the Den.
Shout out to the Den.
Um, and in the moment, I it's so funny. So in the moment, I kind of feel the same way that I feel listening to it today. I listened to it last week when I was driving, and the lows for some reason were hitting me like really really hard. But stepping back, it's not that they're necessarily bad songs. It's just kind of like unnecessary songs. So therefore listening to it makes them bad. Like they're not like the lyrics aren't technically bad. The production is not technically bad, but after yo, after Do You Want to Ride, which I legitimately think Do You Want to Ride is one of my favorite Jay-Z songs. I'll say that flat out.
One of the best records on the album. I agree with that. Yes.
Like John, like what he did on that song, John Legend singing the hook, like the beats, the drums that Kanye produced on it.
Mm-hmm.
I literally I don't know if it's one of the best Jay songs. I know it's one of my favorite Jay songs ever.
That's
And
dope.
so I still remember even when um Kingdom Come leaked and that shit was fire. Like the funny thing is like from the prelude up until Do You Want to Ride, even Show Me What You Got is kind of like popish. I still think that first section of the album is super top heavy. Like I think those songs are all good. Like I love the comic book thing he was trying to do. Um Lost Ones, and it's funny, Lost Ones was a fucking single.
Yeah.
Like and he's airing out all this dirty laundry. And so I think that part of it is top heavy. Then after Do You Want to Ride is where it gets a little bit funky. Cause like even 30 something, that song is not necessarily bad. It's just the hook is terrible. Like 30 is not the new 20, it's 30. like come on. And he was like 39 basically.
Right. Right. He was literally 3 years away from 40 when he made this album.
It's
Yeah.
so it's like the hook is shit, but the Dre production is good, and the song itself is not too bad. And like even at like I Made It, like Mama I Made It, that song, like that song, it's not technically bad, but that's like an outro song. Like
That's a
that shouldn't
beautiful
be on
beat. Khalil
yeah,
killed
it
that shit.
is. It is like the song isn't technically bad, but that's not a song you put on the middle of your album. Like that's a song you put as your outro.
Right.
And so the placement of that is just kind of weird. I love anything, but then soon as anything is over, it's just like a level of mediocrity that
It gets real dark for a while.
it gets really bad for a while. Like I didn't like Hollywood, man.
I
Hollywood
enjoyed
just
Hollywood. I thought it was better than whatever the single was off of B Day that they had together. Um,
oh well, I mean, Drunken Love is the apex. Well,
yeah, yeah.
outside of their album,
I was thinking that yesterday. I was like, I got to tell Marcus that "Drunken Love" is their best song. Yes.
yeah, outside of the album, which I actually, the funny thing is, we gave them shit for making so much bad music over the years that the album came and was dismissed when that album was actually fairly solid.
It was a good album. Yes.
And we didn't even rank that album against Throne, but we're taking Throne over that, so we don't have
Yes.
to do that. And so it's kind of like, so we Dig a Hole is just fucking terrible, man. Terrible Trouble is terrible, man. They're just bad songs. Like
If my hands in the cookie jar, I'ma take the cookie and not leave my ring. Like, bro. And then to think about it, Jay-Z now, a Jay-Z who we all know cheated on Beyonce. Bro, you almost lost your ring. And
yeah,
you definitely got caught putting your hand in the cookie jar. So has
yeah.
not aged well, my dude, my guy.
And I mean, he tried to get kind of faux deep on Minority Report. All right, Beat Share, all right, but that whole back album it's like the bodybuilder who works on nothing but his pecs and nothing but his arms, and he has total chicken legs. Like the back album of Kingdom Come is total chicken legs, man.
Oh man, okay. I agree with you. So let me run down my version of this, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about the most annoying thing about this album. He never did it again on any other albums. Not not like he did here. Eminem has his accent album on not it was Relapse, right? Yeah,
I mean, it's
Relapse was the accent album. This is Jay's whisper flow album. So the entire album, Hove is like, "Show me what you got, baby. Show me what you got."
it's a lot of rough hooks on this album, bro. It's a lot of rough hooks, and
I
that's
know.
why I love Usher and I love John Legend so much.
The king of New York, New York. Not only NYC, I'm hip hop savior. So after this flow, you might owe me a favor when Kingdom Come. Or how about this? Mama, I made it better. And
Yeah,
then and the
he tried to do a
whole
lot with hooks.
album, like even the prelude with that just play sound, and it's like, oh man, this is giving me Hovey baby vibes. And it's like da, da, yeah, da, da. And it's like, here comes the oh my god, ho. Here comes Ho from the track. This isn't the right bars, but I just want you to know how he was rapping on every single track. Then I go back and I'm president now. Def Jam, Dame's a bitch. Myth Blake is still my homie now. And I can't freestyle. You just heard evidence of it. But why did he choose on the comeback album after 3 years to remove all bass from his voice other than moments of "Show Me What You Got" and Beat Share? He's sitting there dissing Dipset on Dig a Hole, and he doesn't even have the audacity to put even a little bass in his voice.
I mean, he doesn't really have much bass. I don't. I wouldn't describe him as like a deep voiced rapper, honestly.
Right,
But
but
the
you know what I mean. When Jay raps,
I mean, just him doing shitty hooks, like him doing shitty hooks. Like this is a shitty hook album.
and he just carried the shitty hooks into every single verse and was like, you know what? I'm not gonna use my speaking voice or my Jay-Z voice. Like, if you look at that, I got 99 problems. It's like coming from putting some oomph behind it. He didn't get on there. I like, if you're having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems. I got the Rat Patrol and her Cat Patrol. He didn't do it like that. There was some oomph behind it. It was like literally like he was not trying to strain his vocal cords like he had a polyp or something. This entire album.
I mean, that's your take. I just
I
think
can't
you're
be the
just.
only one who hears it.
I think you are. I think you're just dancing around. He just made shitty hooks like that. Like that's like if you boil it down, like that's what it is. Like it's like you're saying, like yeah, like his voice is elevated in the sense that he just sounds kind of weird, but it just comes down to him making shitty hooks. Like that's like that's the long and short
The
of it,
hooks, the hooks
Kevin.
are shitty, but then it literally carries to the verses. you have to listen when we get done. Maybe listen to one song and see if you hear it. Maybe I'm crazy, but he literally whisper
Yeah, you
flows the
are.
entire. I'm not crazy, the entire album, and I don't understand why. Okay, so now that that's out the way, I agree with you on the beginning being the best part. Kingdom Come, great beat. Just Blaze is doing some incredible production. Um, it holds up until Do You Want to Ride? Falls off really hard at 30 something for me. Anything I did enjoy. I'm a Hollywood apologist, like we saw. Trouble, Dig a Hole's bad. Minority Report. You get one whole verse, and I know what he's trying to do there, but it doesn't really hit like he wants it to. You don't like Beach Chair though?
I mean, it's these like
You don't like Beach Chair?
hitting every wave like I'm Hawaiian. Okay, ho. All right. Okay.
I didn't
This is
say
what we're
every
doing.
bar was golden, but the message behind that and the
Hold on, hold
uh,
on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. You just complained about his terrible voice, and he does that on that song, bro.
the lyrics finally
I can hear
outweighed the
Angel.
voice on that for me. I
I
I
can
know
hear,
he does it on that song.
I can hear Angel singing to me.
That yo,
Uh,
it's okay because that's like the intro to the song though. Life is but a dream to me. I don't want to wake up 30 odd years without having my cake up.
you you know
It,
you fucked up, Kellen, right? You know you fucked up, right?
I don't care. Beach Chair is my favorite song off Kingdom Come. I listened to it 3 times.
No, no
I listened to this
way.
song 3 times in a row last night.
No way.
Beach Chair is my favorite song off of this album.
Ooh, that's the hottest thing of the night there, boy.
You know it.
Ooh.
Here,
Even for you, like step inside the booth, like oh my, step inside the booth. Superman's alive. Like he, like damn.
Kingdom Comes is close second, but Beach Chair is my favorite song. See, I got demons in my past, so I got daughters on the way. If the prophecies are correct, then the child should have to pay for the sins of the father. So I barter my tomorrows against my yesterdays in hopes that she'll be okay. And when I'm no longer here to shade her face from the glare, I'll give up my share of Carol's daughter and a shiny new beach chair. Come on. Come on.
Like it's not bad. It's just you know maybe maybe what it is. I never listened to Beach Chair as an individual song. I've only listened to it coming off of Minority Report,
Which is a
and
rough ride. I agree. I
yeah,
agree with that. Yes.
and so by that time, I'm just ready
You're
to.
ready for it to be over.
I'm ready to clock out the shift at that point. Like, so he could have been fucking spitting all the bars. I just may have missed it. So I'll 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 listen to Beach Share just by itself. But that was that song like sounds like a Lupe Fiasco beat, to be honest, which is not it's not a bad thing. I re-listened to Food and Liquor, and Food and Liquor is definitely a classic, but fuck Lupe. Um so
Why are we fuck Lupe?
I mean, I don't got time for super
Egomaniac.
leftist. Yeah, egomaniac, super leftist, man. Like, I don't got time for all that, man. But,
Okay, fair enough. We don't gotta get into it. I just want to know why, real quick. That was good enough.
yeah. But, so, and the funny thing is, in the moment, again, contextually, Blueprint 3 was an album that was really praised. But if you compare Blueprint 3 to Kingdom Come, it Kingdom Come really is a predecessor to what everything that Jay is rapping about on Blueprint 3. Like the idea of black progression and achieving, like he maximizes that on Blueprint 3, but
Yeah,
a lot of that has roots in this album. And
yeah,
also contextually, it's like even it's so funny, he has a song called Mama I Made It where he's celebrating all of his achievements, but the end of the album is directly a song about black people who are disproportionately affected by Hurricane Katrina in the beginnings of the financial crash that's around the corner.
right.
So you like his fans, you can't listen to that song and relate to it. Like you just can't. Like you can't listen
No,
to
I can't.
that song and be like, well, you know what? Like this, 725-hour job I got, I made it as well, Hove. Like you can't really do that. And so I think the relatability of this album at the time, like it just wasn't really there. And so, with him having Minority Report and Lil Wayne having like Georgia Bush, at that time, like rappers actually kind of talking about those sorts of like political issues, especially with Bush, like it was welcome. It was a good feeling to hear them make these type of songs.
Oh
I
yeah.
think I think the idea of them making the songs are actually, well, in Jay's case specifically, the idea of him making that song is better than the song itself.
Yeah.
Um, but I think Blueprint 3 was really the progression of everything that Kingdom Come was trying to do. But I mean, the thing is, Blueprint 3 was 3 years later. And so it kind of took that long for either the audience to catch up or for Jay to make adequate enough music for us to feel it then.
Yeah. One thought that came to me yesterday while I was listening to this album, and I hate that we're trashing it on its 15th anniversary, but it kind of deserves it. Every song on Kingdom Come, Jay has made better on other albums somehow. I feel like.
I mean, you think about even his attempt at making like the poppy dance song. Like, yeah, he's done that better in the past and in the future.
Yeah.
Him trying to make deep records, he's done that better. Like I said, "Do You Want to Ride" is one of my favorite Jay songs, but at the same time, like, you know, even for, I mean, we just talked about the excellence. Well, you talked about the excellence of Volume One, but if we look at "You Must Love Me," I mean, like that's like the storytelling that he does on that song is, he doesn't he only mimics that storytelling only a handful of times throughout the rest of his whole career.
Yeah.
So,
Literally.
Do You Want to Rise, like a shout out to, obviously, his man that was locked down, but at the same time, it's like, you know, he he is definitely not Apex J, and it's definitely not um is that the best of what Jay has brought. Like even the idea is so funny because I remember him talking in interviews about people hated "Show Me What You Got," but like Budweiser paid for the advertising for that
Yeah, they
song
did.
and the
Yeah, they did.
advertising of the album. But isn't it's kind of like, well, he got in bed with this liquor company to push this song that was kind of, obviously the Public Enemy sample was dope, and Just Blaze, he did what he could for that song, which is actually, it's a fun energetic song, but Jay rapping on it is not necessarily that impressive. So it's
No.
kind of like you want a cookie because you hustled a company to pay for the album. Like, we don't give a shit about that. Like, we just don't. Like, and so it's kind of like, and that, honestly, that's the sort of first rumblings you can kind of see of what Jay's disconnect is. And
Yeah. Yes, you
it's
can.
like it's rumblings. It's not the whole picture. That doesn't come. I mean, obviously that doesn't come until like after like 444 or whatever, until where we're in now. But it's like, I think that Jay overshot. He overshot what he wanted to achieve, and he missed the mark. And then 3 years later, the mark got hit with Blueprint 3.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what happened. Um so if we were able to wipe away Kingdom Come, does it hurt Jay-Z's catalog, or does it or do you feel like we needed Kingdom Come to get to American Gangster and Blueprint 3 and Watch the Throne and the albums that came after that?
Oh no,
Was
if we
Kingdom
go
Come
from
necessary?
Oh no, if we go from Black Album to American Gangster, like, that's a comeback album for your fucking ass, bro. Like, no, like, no, I love Do You Want to Ride, but like, if we never got Do You Want to Ride, or if we got anything, like, actually, the funny thing is, I think for me, anything, I think it's probably the most fun I've had with a Jay song, and I think that's why I love it so much, because it's all cotton candy. It's like they didn't even play it in clubs like that, really. So you didn't even really
Right.
see girls even dancing to it or whatever. You didn't really dance to girls to the song or whatever. But it's like a cotton candy song. It looks good, it's sweet, but then you have to keep playing it to get that emotion back. But if we wipe away this album and go from Black Album, and then American Gangster is like the reintroduction to Jay, like, no, like, Like that's especially with that having Black Republican was not that good of a song. I can admit all these years later. But
No,
having Success on that album, Success was fucking dope. Like
Success was is the best Nas and Jay-Z song. Yes.
yeah, and like I said, for me, I think American Gangster is my number 3 favorite J album. So if we go from Black Album, which was a great album in itself, and then you go from an album that is the third best J album, all those years off, like that would have been like even more impressive.
Yeah, that you're right. I mean, I rarely visit Kingdom Come unless I have to.
Yeah,
And like even if it's on on some shuffle shit and then one of these songs comes on, I'm more than likely skipping it unless it's not gonna be Beast Share that comes on shuffle. So I'm probably skipping it because Wayne did show me what you got better. Kingdom Come, I might play. Do you want to ride? Again, it might not come up on shuffle. 30 something, I'm skipping. It's was necessary to get him back in the door. I can see that point. It's almost, and like you said, come back like Jordan, we're in the 4-5. Like literally, this is his 4-5 album. And then he definitely came back after game one of the 1995 Eastern Conference Finals, get some magic and put on number 23 and got fined by the league for American Gangster. So uh
love an
yeah.
extended metaphor.
Well, it is what it is, man. I mean,
It is what it is.
am I wrong on
It's
that?
not necessarily. I do think
Exactly.
you're right as far as comparing this to the 45 J, where I'm sorry to the 45 Mike, to where yeah, like he dropped 55 is 45, which was do you want to ride, but when he
Beat
went
share.
against no, I don't think so. I think that was him getting fucked up by the Magic in the playoffs. Um,
Damn. Damn.
but so even do you want to ride? Like I think the last verse in Do You Want to Ride, like International Hope, I Thought I Told You So, 44 is out in Tokyo, Singapore, all this some singing songs. Coming up though, who thought Slinger Raw could be the end all be all to being rich, didn't we? Little did I know my more potent delivery, like all that shit, like him like just floating on that like last verse was just fucking crazy. But I mean that was a bright spot. Like in the album that literally could have been cut in half and been saved. And like I said, in a moment, I thought it was a solid album. I thought it was a good album. I was happy that Jay was back making music,
And I was too.
but just like looking back at it, in his discography, like I don't care for Blueprint 2. Like obviously, there's a lot of good on Blueprint 2. There's a lot of bad. I would
Hmm.
and yeah, I would say Blueprint 2 is probably bottom for me, and then just above that. Well, I I haven't listened to Volume 3 since it dropped, so I don't really
Damn.
just well, I listen to like some songs every now and then, like obviously like Big Pimpin' or whatever,
Yeah.
or like
There's been a
a couple
murder. You should listen to
uh,
that.
like Snoopy track, obviously, but
Come and get me. There's
um
been a murder. Both of those are like great Jay-Z B-side songs.
yeah, so I don't disparage Volume 3 because I haven't listened to it in forever, but
Right.
I would say Blueprint 2 is the bottom for me, and then I would probably Magna Carta Holy Grail, like that's another album that just has problems with just too much music. Even though the album is only like 15 songs long or 16 songs long,
It feels very
you,
long.
they could have cut out 5 songs in that album, and that album would have been really, really good. But I think the songs kind of just bogged down. But I would put, I think I would put Magna Carta Holy Grail as probably. What would you pick? Kingdom Come or Holy Grail?
Um, which would
That's
I take?
yeah, that's
Holy
hard.
Holy Grail. Wait, 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 wait,
Really?
wait, 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 wait. No, wait. Nope, 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 nope. It's Kingdom Come. It's Kingdom Come. I gotta have Kingdom Come over Holy Grail. Even though I think Holy Grail would fit better on Watch the Throne over Oceans and No Church. But yeah.
Yeah, I think I can admit. Yeah, I would put that as second worst, and then I will put Kingdom Come as third worst. Jay.
Mm-hmm.